All along because of the KIRO poll. A race to watch has been that for King County Executive, and as the votes are counted tonight, that sure is the case. Tim Hill, the Republican challenger, with 52% of the votes that have been counted so far to incumbent Randy Revell's 48%. Since the early numbers first came in, Tim Hill has climbed a little bit in his percentage. He was below 52% just a short time ago. Randy Revell having trouble tonight in his bid to be re-elected.
And while your graphic does indicate that these are returns from 33% of the precincts, those are not complete returns from 33% of the precincts, so that does not represent a full one-third of the vote.
Plus, there's something else we need to add. There are plenty of absentee ballots that have not been counted, and absentees, when you get a race this close, can make a significant difference toward the end of the counting.
But all of that aside, right now it's 52 to 48%, a lead for Tim Hill, and we have live reports now from each of the headquarters. David Curley at Revell headquarters, and first Todd Smith from Tim Hill's headquarters. Todd?
Hill will win. Those are the words they're saying here at this hour at Tim Hill's election night headquarters. Confidence is a feeling that is going through the crowd. No matter how slim the tabulation might be, there's the strong belief Tim Hill will walk away with a victory tonight.
Well, let's see how they're feeling now at the headquarters for Randy Revell. David Curley.
Well, as you can expect, John and Gary, there's a bit of nervousness here. People are a little bit scared about these figures. Talked to Randy Revell just a minute ago. He said he was very nervous, but he also points out, don't forget 4 years ago, where he had to wait until 12:15 to find out who was the winner. So by no means are they conceding defeat here at Revell headquarters. They're waiting for the next figures to come out, which should be about 10 o'clock, and they're anxiously awaiting those numbers. And by the way, point out that the numbers that are out now are what they call partly tainted, at least, by the absentee vote, which usually goes for the Republicans. So they're still waiting for the next numbers to come out.
Okay, David, we're waiting for the next numbers, too. David Curley at Randy Revell headquarters. Todd Smith, who's at Tim Hill headquarters. They'll stay there as the votes are counted, and we'll be going back to them for more reaction in what may well be the most exciting single candidate contest on the ballot tonight, at least overall for closeness of votes.
Well, as you pointed out, John, we were certainly expecting a very close race, and it appears that we are going to get it. Also, I'd like to point out that while we are doing these cut-ins on the election returns throughout the next couple of hours, you will see the motion picture with Lucille Ball's Stone Pillow in its entirety. We'll be doing these cut-ins in between breaks there. We do have some other King County races. We'd like to take a look at some of the results of the numbers that are in. Two propositions in the King County ballot. One is to continue the emergency medical service levy, and you see that it is passing at this point overwhelmingly 79% to 21%, and we've already declared the KIRO computer that it has passed.
Also, the KIRO computer declaring a victory for King County Proposition number 2. These are the zoo bonds for improvements at the Woodland Park Zoo, although a much slimmer margin on this one, 62% yes so far, 38% no, a 60% yes vote, of course, required for that to pass.
And another race that we are looking at, of course, one that was expected to be close, and it certainly is in the King County Council races, and for position number 1, where Louise Miller, the Republican challenger, has a slight lead over the incumbent Democrat, Audrey Gruger, 51% to 49%. That's one we're going to be watching very closely, because recall that right now the Democrats hold a 5-4 lead on the King County Council.
And as we take a look at King County District number 3, Bill Reams, who has been on the council since it was formed in 1969, being re-elected to a 5th term, outdistancing his opponent by a wide margin.
Very little competition in that one. There was more competition in King County District number 5. This is Ron Sims against Michael Ross, and we find that Sims, in an overwhelmingly Democratic district, has a very overwhelming lead at this point.
King County Council District number 7, Paul Barden, the Republican, the KIRO computer showing that he is being re-elected. 57% of the votes counted so far for Paul Barden, 43% for his opponent, Jeannie Snell.
And here's another one that the Republicans had hoped to wrest away from the Democrats. The current council president, Gary Grant, however, has a fairly sizable lead at this time over his Republican challenger, State Representative Mike Patrick, 57% to 43%.
I want to point out in King County Council District number 3, the opponent for Bill Reams is his Democratic challenger, Charles Cosby. But again, in that District number 3 race, Bill Reams has got a handy margin as he's being re-elected tonight and will serve a 5th term on the council. Other numbers we want to take a look at. We want to look at the race for mayor of Seattle. The incumbent, Charles Royer, KIRO computer predicting when all the votes have been counted, he will indeed have won re-election as the top government executive in the city of Seattle. You can see right now 65% of the votes counted for Charles Royer, 35% for City Council President Norm Rice.
That comes as no surprise, but I'm certainly sure it comes as a pleasure to the incumbent Mayor Charles Royer, and he's standing by now with Nick Walker.
We are standing by here. The party is in full swing here, and one of the people swinging with them is Mayor Charles Royer. Mayor, we've already declared you the victor. Are you about ready to do the same?
Well, not yet. I guess we have about 20-some% of the returns in, and while we're just delighted with those numbers, it's still a little bit early to make a statement, but we'll be making one, I think, around 10 o'clock. That's when we think we'll have adequate numbers to do that, and it's about the time we'd planned on.
All right. And we will be standing by with you at 10 o'clock, and we'll bring it to you. Back to you, John and Gary.
Never the politician, but I'm certain inside a very confident Charles Royer.
There are plenty of other elections around the state, and in various cities and districts we'll have results from the Puget Sound area this evening. Also some statewide measures, including some of those joint resolutions which are on the ballot. HJR 22 is a big one. This is that one that would remove that complicated formula for voter turnout to validate such things as school levies and bonds. But take a look at what's happening. Proponents are not going to be happy. That one is being overwhelmingly defeated tonight in the KIRO computer predicting that HJR 22 to remove that voter turnout requirement will not pass.
John says we are covering all the races in the Puget Sound area and statewide. We'll have the results for you periodically over the next couple of hours and a complete wrap-up tonight at 11.
We're going to begin the movie, and you won't miss any of it. We'll stop it when we have election returns and then restart it where we stopped it.